What's up, YouTube? How's it going? I'm back again for another random video. So I'm just sitting here in my truck thinking, what can I tell you guys? Well, I'm going to talk to you guys about what is it like to own a truck? The pros, cons. For the past 3 years, I've been driving a pickup truck, and I'm going to tell you right now that they're a pain in the ass to park. If you have a hard time parking vehicles, this thing is over 20 feet long. And it has no backup camera. Luckily, most vehicles and trucks now have backup cameras and sensors. But if you're looking at buying a truck, it's a pain in the ass to park. I drive a big vehicle, a big straight truck for a living, so I know what it's like. You get used to it. And driving that, it's nice because you're super high off the ground and the visibility is better and you have really nice mirrors. But a lot of these trucks, they don't come with nice mirrors. You want tow mirrors. So if they look big and goofy like on a Dodge, they're actually really good. So next time you want to rip on Dodge for their mirrors, they're very good. When you're pulling a trailer, you want those kind of mirrors for sure. It's nice to be up higher. You feel safer. It's nice to have four-wheel drive, especially in the wintertime, unless you have a Subaru all-wheel drive. It's nice to use four-wheel drive when you want. Now, when you use four-wheel drive, all four tires are working. All-wheel drive, it picks when to use them, even in summertime, so you're getting shitty gas mileage. But I can get better gas mileage by just using two-wheel drive. But obviously, you don't buy a truck for the gas mileage. You know it's going to suck. But over the years, gas mileage has gotten a lot better. I got cylinder deactivation. It shuts down to 4 cylinders, which is nice. The new GMCs and Chevs and all that pick what cylinder to use now. They don't just shut down to 4. And you can actually turn off this system just to run V8 mode at all times, which would be a nice thing too, because I'm in a big 350 horsepower vehicle and I'm feathering it, and it's not very peppy. It wants to go when it wants to. So that's one of the things I noticed when I bought this truck. So I'm a little skeptical to drive Ford's V6 or even the 4-banger that just came out for Chevy. But those turbos, they make up for it, but it's really hard in the engine, and you're driving a big truck with a little tiny engine. Sounds kind of gay, but you want that extra horsepower. I find trucks are more family orientated now because they're making the cabs a lot bigger and the beds are smaller. So it's more for the family and inside than it is for what it actually does. But whatever, if that's what you want, that's what you want. This is more of a work truck for me. I like to haul with it and I've towed with it. It's no big deal. So if you got stuff like that, you definitely want to get a pickup truck. What else have I noticed? Yeah, the gas mileage. You're not going to get good gas mileage. I had an RT Charger with the Hemi V8, and it was a 5.7, and it was 340 horsepower, like 400 torque or something like that. I don't remember. But I'm getting better gas mileage in a 5,500 pound truck than I did in a 4,500 or 4,000 pound car. But obviously, you beat the snot out of those things. I'm just saying in general. The cylinder deactivation has helped. I've noticed on highway speeds that when I put in cruise control that it likes to stay in V8 mode, which really sucks. They got trucks with auto stop start to save gas and all that stuff, but there should be a feature to leave it in 4-cylinder mode if you want. Because if you're not towing anything, why do you need all that power of a V8, right? So I like the idea that Ford has gone aluminum and smaller engine to save gas, but I think it's going to hurt the truck buyers in the long run. And this is one of the last few vehicles with a V8. I know you can get the V8 Coyote engine, and I'm just talking about like F1 series and like 1500 series trucks. I'm not talking about the 2500 and the big diesel. Like those are workhorse vehicles. The 1500, the F-150s, those trucks, those are just basically like family haulers. You want to haul your family around. Another thing you would like if you did get a truck is that it does have lots of room. Like I was saying, they're making the cabs a lot bigger now, and the headroom is great. I'm 6'2", plenty of headroom. I don't get into a little car and think I'm going to die. Like, you feel safe in a truck, and you're higher off the ground. So it's not good if you get hit by a vehicle because it can tip you over. So I'm using my iPhone here, and I'm holding it on a little tripod. It's kind of nice. So I've seen that. If you ever notice on accidents, when trucks get hit from the side, they tend to flop over because they're higher off the ground. So if you got a big lift kit and another big vehicle hits you, you're rolling. So, but I've read online and I've seen a lot of videos where people have come out without a scrape from trucks. So they're definitely a lot safer. They're more on insurance because trucks are more expensive. And I asked my insurance guy, I was like, well, I've had this thing for so long. It would be nice if you reassess the value of my truck. So say if I only owe 20 grand on it, it should lower my insurance. And he goes, well, no, because if you total it, we got to buy you a whole new truck again. So that's another factor to look at. You're going to pay more for gas. You're going to pay more for changing your oil because you're burning more. These bigger engines take more oil. I have like 7 liters to put in this thing. And if you notice that oil changes, they only go up to 5 liters in their fine print. And then Costco will do it and be like, oh, we added an extra 2 liters. Or did you really? Why don't you just give me that bottle that you charged me for? Or we had a top off 0.5 at Mr. Lube. That's why I'll never go back. Well, why don't you just give me the 4 liters that you charged? Because you used a 4-liter bottle. You had to open it. So why don't you just give me that bottle? Oh, we had to charge you full price for 0.5 liters. Like, fuck you, bud. That's why you just do shit yourself. So oil changes cost more. You're going to pay more for gas because they're not very aerodynamic vehicles and they're a lot heavier. But for what their purpose is, it's worth it. And they're safer. And insurance is going to be a lot more money. So you just have to put into factor of that. The visibility is kind of shitty. Like I said, parking is a pain in the ass, especially when there's 2 big vehicles already and then there's 1 spot left. You're not fitting 3 vehicles that are big beside each other. But something I do like about the double cab is that the back door is a lot tinier. So if you did fit somewhere small, you tend to have more room to get your kid out if it's a smaller back door, right? So you can open up the little tiny door a lot more and your kid can get out, which is nice because you can open up the door a lot wider. So that is also a nice feature. A backup camera, I would love to have had that, but my truck does not come with it. But yeah, owning this thing, I think the reliability is better in a V8 engine because they're so used to being abused and put through stress that if you're not using it for a truck and you're just driving it to drive it, it's going to last a lot longer too, right? Because you're not putting that abuse that it can take. So it's going to go even longer because, you know, the shocks are better, the tires are beefier. You're going to hit a pothole and be like, oh, fuck. But in a car, you could break your whole fucking tie rod and stuff, right? So, but I'm talking from a brand new vehicle perspective. I've never had to fix anything on this. So I'm sure the parts would be just as insane as like a Mercedes-Benz car or something. But I think you get more for your value out of a truck and you can put a lot more room in the back too. So you'd like that over a car. A lot of people aren't buying cars. They're not even like making cars anymore because trucks and SUVs are taking over. People need more room, right? But you're going to pay for it. If you want more room, you're going to pay for it. So the luxury of hauling more shit in the back and towing, you're going to pay for it. And if you don't do any of that stuff, well, then you got a family or something, or you just like the look of a truck and that's what you want. It's more of like an image than anything now. Like, oh, I got a big fancy truck and tires and big muddy rims and I don't do anything with it. I'm not putting big beefy tires on my truck because I do a lot of highway driving and I'll just burn them out like no tomorrow. Within a year and a half, buddy said I'd burn through $1,200 tires because I really wanted Bud tires because I got my truck leveled, which is nice, but visibility is better when you're on the highway. You know, your lights shine further. If you hit an animal or something like that, you're going to be more protected. It's going to actually hit the truck rather than hit your car and bounce off and smoke your window. But yeah, the higher up you are, obviously, if you hit, I'm sure like a deer would still destroy your vehicle, obviously, but you're higher off the ground. So that center of gravity is a lot different, right? And you're a lot heavier. So in the winter time, and I've noticed in rain, you're more planted on the ground rather than a car. You're like, whoa, they're light, right? And if you have 4-wheel drive on and your truck is in 4-wheel drive, you'll feel the weight of the front gripping the ground. And I have shitty tires and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sticking real good. So that's another pro, but you're gonna pay for it and they hold their value. So if you're thinking of buying a truck, just know that everybody would buy it. Like, you know, everyone wants a truck, or the people that can't afford it really, but most people want a truck, so they're not hard to sell if you ever get rid of it, and the resale value is really high. So it's good investment if that's what you want. So yeah, keep that in mind. That's what it's like owning a truck. Other than that, I think it's a great vehicle and you should go drive one. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. Please like and subscribe for more random videos as I try to upload not so often. And I'll talk to you real soon. Bye for now. And they also drive like you're on a cloud too. Talk to you later.